Today, I bring to you a video about the hit game Stellar Blade. I'll be reviewing some of the characters and the enemies. But I know you clicked this because you saw Eve, didn't you? Hey, there's no judgment here. I'm just stating what I'm seeing. There won't be any story spoilers here, so you'll be fine. Let's get started. Eve, our main protagonist, is an angel, as everyone calls her. She descended from above and emerged from a pod. Eve is a combat adept android who can completely annihilate Naytibas. In my playthrough, I realized she's the queen of I'll figure it out. Let me tell you that this angel is blunt and ruthless to anything standing in her way. She initially enters wearing a green and white bodysuit that has a tie. I'd like to think of it as their formal wear. One thing I can say about Eve is that no matter what she is doing, she is going to look badass and amazing while doing it. Adam, the first person that you meet after combat with the Naytibas. He comes off as mysterious, but throughout the game you realize he really is on your side. He's trying to help the city of Zion and needs help from Eve to do so. He wears the scavenging suit covering his whole body. You can tell off looks alone that he is a man who is trying to be prepared for any situation. He is also well built and isn't the type to go down easily. As a well-trained pilot, he's by your side and always trying to get ahead of the situation, especially if it would cause trouble for meeting his goals. Lily Artemis II, otherwise known as Lily, the second person to join you on your travels. She's the most chipper and excited engineer you will ever meet. You will find her in a pod where she has been trapped. She was alone before meeting Eve, so she's probably ecstatic about meeting people again. She wears a revealing outfit and it matches her personality. She serves as a good foil to Adam, who is more closed off and melancholic. Brimming with that positivity, she makes the game more enjoyable, like cracking jokes in this very dark world. What a sweet girl. Tachy, the leader of the 7th Airborne Squad, a powerful leader. She helps Eve escape a pod and leads combat against the Naytibas. While in-game she doesn't show up much due to getting separated from Eve, you can tell from her aura alone how capable she is. In a short prequel comic, Tachy bests Eve in combat, saying that Eve is still too slow. Her yellow and black bodysuit and very large blade show authority. She also serves as a guide to Eve, being one of the only real individuals we meet from the colony where the angels hail from. Raven is one of the last survivors of the 2nd Airborne Squad. Raven is a key in figuring out the mysteries of the world and what happened in the past. She shows extreme skill with the blade, and her outfit is reminiscent of Eve's except it is blue and white. According to data, she wields a cryo blade that freezes her enemies. She must have been truly formidable to attain such a weapon. Moving on to the enemies, the Naytibas. There are a specific subset called Elite Naytibas. That is what we'll be talking about today. Brute Naytibas. They are such a sick concept because they look like a mutated form of a normal Naytiba called a hedge boar. Brutes have gigantic arms made of tentacles attached to the core of machines, which means they're gigantic. They swing so hard and have extreme reach. I think the brutes are super interesting, but they require more screen time. I only saw one brute in base game. Whenever I fought it, I realized how savage they were, being able to hit the ground and slam you with unblockable attacks. This is the true all or nothing monster. Abdaddon. These guys gave me absolute trouble. The abilities that they have vary. It'll either shoot balls of electricity at you, or it will fire a Kamehameha at a moment's notice. It really doesn't help that Abdaddon are quick. I get my ass kicked every time. The design is unique in having 2 blades that strike consistently, and a head that loops back around like a basketball hoop. With all the thorns sticking out of its body, it's what I truly call a nightmarish monster. I love it, especially because it's the first boss. Corruptors are truly foul creatures. They are like trap characters in other games who set down bombs everywhere and wait for the right moment for you to get punished by it. They have a green bulging head that shoots out what I believe to be corrosive acid at Eve. It immediately stuns you and does some real poison damage. When it fits them, they'll charge at you. While these things aren't the hardest to fight, paired with another Naytiba, they can become troublesome. Their design is like a horse, so they have mobility and range. I think the design with the mouth on its head is just weird enough to give it a pass. Not my favorite monster, but it's a nice one, I'll have to say. Maelstroms are what I would expect a normal, average boss to be. You can only fight these Naytibas with guns due to story-based reasons. It is a giant amalgamation of failed experiments and humans. That is to say, it does look like a giant hell block. These fights aren't particularly intriguing, and they don't even move. It does shoot a lot of projectiles due to its lack of mobility. Not the most interesting of elite level enemies, but it is here nonetheless. Stalkers might be one of my favorite enemies in the game. They are sadistic and will chase you down. They've adapted to the underground life where it's dark and wet. They don't have eyes, so they use their smell to track their foes. They can grab you and slam you into the ground with their claws. Their heads are hollow, but on the edges they have spikes that spin around like a chainsaw, cutting down their foes. They're quick and an immediate threat to anyone who crosses their path. I enjoyed every fight with a Stalker. Also, the music that they play is amazing. If I had to compare it to something, it would be Tigers from Monster Hunter. Skull Juggernauts are kind of what you'd already imagine. A big creature that's tanky as hell and may have a huge weapon. Well, that's exactly what you get. Its lore is cool though. There are these things called skullings. They are small and they take over corpses and use the host to its advantage. In this case though, multiple skullings morph into one corpse and it becomes an absolute unit. It hits hard with a big hammer. Getting hit by these attacks will nearly kill you. I like that because it makes the Juggernaut imposing as hell. Behemoths, I'm going to be honest with you, I barely remember them. Seeing images of it reminded me that they attack like lions do, swiping their claws at you and constantly jumping. Some cool lore about them is that they were apparently one of the first Naytibas to exist. They can shoot shockwaves out to keep Eve on her toes, but saying still isn't really an option. I can say, without a doubt, that Belial is one of the most unique enemies in the game. It is truly a menace. It's another Naytiba, sure, but it's actually smart. In the lore, Naytibas can infect machinery, including AI combat robots. What happens when those two things mix? Danger. My first thought seeing this was, does it have a headlight for an eyeball? And then it pulls out two blades and starts attacking me like no tomorrow. Come to find out what's special about this menace is, it can regenerate. Quite the problematic enemy, especially because it can hold a grudge. But what makes it stand out is its blood-red design, petty nature, and dual-wielding abilities. Closer to the end of the game, you meet this enemy. It's called the Karakuri. It is like the Maelstrom, except instead of being failed experiments as the main source, it's robots. Naytibas can once again infest mechanical beings. But what makes this one so troublesome compared to the Maelstrom is that it can move. When its large headpiece glows, it'll shoot a laser. Its eerie design really stands out because it can send pieces of itself to crawl through vents and stalk its opponents. This is where we learn that Naytibas really are getting smarter. Its pulsating body and spider-like movements can catch you off guard. This is one enemy for the records if you like body horror. Karakuri is one of the most unique enemies in the game. The final one for this list is the Democrawler. One of the most heart-wrenching creatures to date is the depressing creation of it. If you look, you can tell that it's another amalgamation, but this time of humans, Naytibas, and machines. The heads of humans formed on top of the creature. The middle is what seems to be Naytiban mutation, and the bottom being mechanical legs to move around. When angry, it pulls out a sword, glows blue, and attacks faster with ranged attacks. The reveal of this creature is what makes it so different from the rest. It's the anguish of all the people who thought that they were abandoned, waiting for help, that formed this vengeful, malicious, demonic entity of a creature. This is one of my favorite Naytibas to date. The story that it tells, the grotesque, soul-splitting design, and the combat really make this fight stand above the rest. One that I will always remember. This is also another fight where the music is amazing. Well, what did you think? Did you learn something new? Maybe it even intrigued you. Well, either way, I thank you for finishing this video. Stellar Blade was one of my favorite games that I played this year, so I decided to talk about it. If you enjoyed, drop a like, comment your favorite character mentioned in the video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button too while you're at it, and I'll thank you kindly. I'll see you next time.